Mario! Luigi! Luigi's Mansion? With the remake of the second game releasing a little bit less than a month ago on the Switch, I thought it'd be fun to go down a little old memory lane and replay the first game for like the billionth time. Let's be honest, this isn't the kind of game where you can hit it and quit it. Once you start sucking, you don't stop. Am I right, daisies? Luigi's Mansion was a first for Nintendo, having Luigi hold the reins of the protagonist role for once. Well, one of the first, but I don't think many people played the cult classic that is Mario is Missing. I didn't even know it existed until making this video, and I highly doubt Nintendo does either, cause where the fuck was its remake during the year of Luigi? Come on, Nintendo, I want to get educated in HD. Anywho, Luigi's Mansion is a massive nostalgic shimmer hunkered deep within my rotting brain. Oh, the joys and thrills I feel when I hear the sound of Luigi grunting as he steadily shakes and fumbles all over dead people's furniture.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I played this game way too much as a kid. Well, once I got over my fear of Neville, that is. He's the first portrait ghost you come across, and I don't know why, but this Prince Harry lookalike scared me shitless as a little kid. My parents would have to console me and stuff because I swore I was seeing him out of windows. And I really don't even know why he scared me. The only thing I can think of is maybe the oh he does when he yawns. Not even Chauncey scared me. One of the more objectively scarier ghosts. But yeah, back to the topic at hand.
Luigi's Mansion!
Hi, hello, I'm Zystar, and today I'm going to talk about the masterpiece that is Luigi's Mansion, and why I think it's deserving of the title of being one of the best games ever made. Before I get into the video, I want to say thanks to all that give the time out of their day to watch my videos. I hate the idea of begging for likes and follows, so I'll let you do whatever you want. I support you. And also, I want to apologize in advance for the inevitable hundreds of sucking jokes that will be made throughout this video. It's low-hanging fruit, I know, but that only makes it easier to suck. Okay, seriously, can we get into the actual video now? No. Before I can explain what makes Luigi's Mansion such a great game, I need to give a little rundown of the game's story. It starts off with Luigi strutting his way to his supposed mansion he won. Spoiler, that dumbass didn't win a mansion. Upon entering the home he apparently owns, it becomes abundantly clear that he has literally no keys to any of the rooms. Defeated, he walks downstairs before being greeted by the scariest orange blob I've ever seen. Oh hey, a key! With his newly acquired key, Luigi makes his way to the parlor room. Hi, editor Zystar here. Somehow I got confused on how Luigi first met Egad, so enjoy my mistake here. Luigi blows out some candles, which piss off some neighboring ghosts, and they start trying to wham on that little man. Professor Egad, who I'll talk about in a little bit, comes out of some fucking where and starts sucking their shit up before getting mollywopped by one of the ghosts. Now back to the short king that is Professor Egad, a man of beautiful gibberish and an arousing squiggle of hair. After nonchalantly revealing that Mario too fell victim to the fake mansion scheme, this mad scientist aids Luigi in his new quest of sucking his way to saving his brother.
With the power of the Portuguese 3000!
Luigi then goes around the mansion, sucking up all the ghosts he can find. Even sucking on some special ones, known as portrait ghosts. He also learns pretty quickly that, even when dead, the rich still hoard their wealth. So as a little side mission, Luigi makes an effort to fuck up his vacuum cleaner by sucking up coins, comically large gems, and even mother of pearl! He releases some booze on accident, clearly this plumber can't read, and learns of whom locked up Mario, King Boo. Which, side note and possible tangent, how did King Boo get locked up in his own creation? Like, it wasn't the ghosts, and if it was Egad, then why didn't he help Mario? Because, like, he knew Mario was kidnapped. Anyways, I'm on to you, Egad. Hey, money! Luigi catches some more ghosts. Hey, money! At some point there's a blackout, despite the fact that a pretty good amount of rooms use candlelight, so, not getting the logic there, but okay. But with there being a blackout, that means all previously cleared rooms are now slithering? No, slithering doesn't work either. Covered, you might as well. Covered in ghosts again. Hey, money! Luigi flicks, why do I keep saying flick? Luigi fixes the blackout with the flick of a switch. How convenient. It catches the rest of the filthy little ghosts, turning them into priceless paintings, leaving just one final twit to deal with.
Kangaroo!
Who, for some reason, becomes a big ol' Bowser thingy. Okay. Anyways, with a few good shots to the face and loads of sucking, Luigi saves the day and defeats this king. Hey, money! But in crown form. And with reversing the ghost painting maker device thingy, Mario's turned back to normal. And Luigi does whatever that is. Get a hold of yourself. Oh, and apparently money did have a use. And that pretty much summarizes the whole game. Finally, I can talk about what I love about this game. From the iconic thunderstorms that wage on all throughout your time in the mansion, Luigi's constant humming, and the barrage of ghostly jump scares, Luigi's Mansion nails the eerie atmosphere in every metric. The music design in this game is top-notch. Despite being very subtle in some cases, it plays a major role in making the creepy atmosphere work as well as it does. For instance, the soundtrack of a standard room is dependent on multiple factors: Luigi's health, ghost presence, and if the room has been officially cleared and lit up. Save for some special rooms, this is how most rooms are treated otherwise. It's quite amazing how much detail goes into the sound of a room. Hallways that are a part of an active area have this loud, heavy cello version of the theme, accompanied by an eerie symphony of ethereal melodies, and constant jump scares by those asshole ceiling ghosts. In later areas, drum-like booms join in the choir as these little bomb ghosts go all kablooey. On the opposite end of this, cleared rooms have no music at all, only the sound of Luigi's beautiful whistling, showing that in this instance, silence is good, and it's nice to be alone. See, Luigi's Mansion uses music as a way to showcase threats, with typically the louder and more booming the music is, the more of a threat may lurk around. Now let's focus a bit more on Luigi's involvement in the sound design. Luigi hums and whistles the game's theme all throughout the playthrough. Great branding, Nintendo. It's stuck in my head for fucking ever. And like mentioned before, Luigi's health is a factor in the soundtrack usage. The lower his health, the more frantic and less harmonic his humming on the track becomes. Humming seems to be the way Luigi calms himself down, as in cleared rooms, he doesn't hum at all. Instead, he gives a nice whistling rendition of the game's theme. It's subtle things like this that really help build the atmosphere. If something is too obvious, then sometimes it can break the immersion. I love finding little details like this years later. Let's talk a bit about the other aspects of the atmosphere building. I can't be talking all about the sounds. Rotting floors and peeling wallpapers are a common sight in the mansion. Mouse holes and spiderwebs decorating all the crevices that can be seen really help paint a decrepit and unwelcoming atmosphere. Combining that with a light, or well, really lack thereof, gives off a Resident Evil-esque vibe. And I'm sure the developers had that in mind. I mean, the door animations are straight up the ones from Resident Evil. Using the Game Boy Horror, you can interact with pretty much any object and get Luigi's opinion on it. Sassy motherfucker. And interact with the bookshelves to get an idea of what kind of smut the ghouls like to read. These hidden dialogues are a great subtle way to flesh out the world that you're playing in. Difficulty is subjective. I get that. As a kid, I thought this game was ridiculously difficult. But now with my semi-adulting brain capabilities, I'm still just as bad, but now I'm aware that I suck. But anyways, I love how the game handles difficulty. whether through ghost usage or room layouts. While the game can definitely seem quite easy at times, it's designed in a way that the second you slip up, shit starts to hit the fan. Ghosts can easily gang up on you the second you get hit. So watch onto what the fuck did I write? So watch onto your health, kids. And in later rooms, some ghosts even have special elements that you gotta rock, paper, scissors their shit to prep them for sucking. Adding layers to the gangbanging Luigi already has to deal with. Boos aren't too difficult, but sometimes can just be absolute assholes, especially with their higher health later in the game. But if you're catching one in a room that hasn't been cleared, then yeah, the difficulty definitely will go up. One of the more unforgiving aspects of the game are to do with the speedy spirits. These blue balling ghosts have a coin-guzzling vor fetish, with the traits of a dad heading out to buy milk. If you don't stun and suck these fuckers up fast enough, they'll disappear in an instant, having you miss out on some valuable loot. These almost like QuickTime events really help boost up the difficulty, as you gotta be ready, especially if you accidentally stumble across one. Portrait ghosts and their difficulty are actually quite balanced and nuanced that most players probably wouldn't notice and blame their missteps on their terrible sucking skills. But no, actually, Eduardo, you do got amazing sucking skills, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You see, the layouts of these rooms greatly affect how well Luigi can reel them in, with the easier portrait ghosts having much less furniture and clutter decorating their arenas. I mean, look at the difference between Lydia and Biff Atlas's rooms. Now this is more of a speculation, but it does seem like some portrait ghosts are faster than others, with Madame Clairvoyance willingly letting you suck her up. It doesn't seem like she puts up much of a fight. But on the other end, Jarvis, with whatever the fuck he is insanely fast. And since I'm talking about him, let's move on to the objectively best feature of the game. Ah, the portrait ghosts. The deceased reanimated after being EGAD's personal decor for who knows how long. Each portrait ghost works as a mini-boss, save for the two who are actual true bosses, that being Chauncey and Bogmire. This playstyle of one boss after another reminds me of one of my other all-time favorites, that being Shadow of the Colossus. I wish more games took this approach. Get to working, you dev sluts. Jesus. Okay, I'm becoming too much. The design of the portrait ghosts are top-notch, having much more detailed and complex designs compared to their more common counterparts. And I really enjoy how you have to study them and pick up on their behaviors to find their weak points for sucking them up. I also love the variety on how you take them on. Like, sure, a pretty good amount of them are the flash and suck 'em method, but some are really creative, like the dog Spooky, having you complete a small puzzle before its heart can be exposed for sucking action. These puzzles break up the monotony that can easily form if given that all portraits work the same, and also helps make these mini-bosses more memorable compared to how mini-bosses are typically remembered in games. Great job, devs. I could go on and on about my love for the portrait ghosts. It's honestly something I'm sad Nintendo didn't really continue with moving forward in the series. Luigi's Mansion 3 kinda did, but it just wasn't the same. Okay, maybe open world isn't the best way to describe this game, but I'm dumb and bad with words, and that's the closest thing my brain can come up with. Throughout the whole game, you only ever have one main overarching goal. Sure, there's little side things you can do, like rummaging through drawers for gold or sucking on some booze. But there's only one main goal: to suck Bowser up to save Mario. And the game just leaves you to your own devices to achieve this goal. It'll point you to places of interest, but you are the driving force behind the story moving forward. It's a bit like an open world in that aspect, as you choose what you want to do and how to best ransack the mansion. There's no worry of if you can backtrack or not, as you can always return to areas you previously explored. Forget a boo? Well, go and get it. This freedom of exploration is what really makes me enjoy the game. It adds a bit of variety to every playthrough, and also allows the speedrunners of the community to experiment with the different routes one can take. It adds so much that, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm rambling. But speaking of playthrough variety and speedrunning, let's move on to the next reason why I love this game so much, and why I think it's deserving of being one of the best games ever made. Like I said before, this game's hard to quit, and there's a good reason for that. There's so many improvable variables on each playthrough. One of which, probably the most obvious, is improving your robbing and sucking scores. You want to earn the highest amount of money so you can get the best ranked mansion at the end. There's money everywhere in this game, and chances are you missed a few spots. Maybe you didn't know in your first playthrough you can water plants. Well, now you gotta replay to water them thirsty bitches and get that gold. Perhaps you didn't know bigger and better pearls drop when portrait ghosts are sucked up in less sessions. Well, now you gotta suck harder and longer. And yeah, the amount of health you take off on a portrait ghost affect the color of their picture frames and pearls dropped, if you didn't know. The more health you take off before they get sucked up or break loose, the better your score. So with that, maybe you want to replay again to get all the perfect scores. And while you're at it, catch all the optional portrait ghosts too. There's a lot more than you think. Maybe you want to catch all the hidden ghosts like the speedy spirits and golden mice. I know I've attempted many perfect runs, but I'm shit and those blue suckers vanish like Houdini before I can flash them. Either way, I can always find an excuse to play this game again. And I'm sure you can too. Just another reason why this is such a good game. Luigi's Mansion, despite initially being the black sheep of the Mario universe, has created its own standalone fanbase and successful, pun intended, franchise. Despite being 2 decades old, Jesus, it's just as fun to play as it was back then. And a game with this kind of longevity and solid community support shows how amazing and adored this game is, and why once again, I'm proclaiming, what do I think I am? This to be one of the best games ever made. I didn't even mention the mods that this game has. And while obviously they shouldn't be included in why the base game is great, I think it's important to showcase the love and admirations fans have for this game. And with everything said, I hope I did Luigi proud and really hammered in how great of a game this is. I've loved it ever since I was a little kid, and truly am just so giddy making a video about one of my favorite games. I'm laying in bed, kicking my feet and shit, just thinking about all that sucking. I mean, I can go on and on about how great this game is, but I know my limits, and I've definitely made enough sucking jokes. 10 out of 10?
Oh yeah.
One of the best games ever made. Now please, sit back and relax, and enjoy my beautiful acapella cover of the theme. Hi, hello, again. I had fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed my stupidity. These longer videos take much more time to make, so I might keep them on rotation with other slightly shorter videos. But anywho, with that I say, bye bye!